What if I told you that one of the people most affected by bipolar disorder may not be the person with the diagnosis? It may be the person sitting right next to them, the spouses, the parents, the siblings, the adult child, the caregivers. 1 in 4 caregivers of people with bipolar disorder develop depression themselves, but many never see it coming. Today we are talking about why. Because if you have been caring for someone with bipolar disorder and you have been feeling exhausted, anxious, lonely, or you have been feeling like you are disappearing from your own life, this episode is for you. My name is Joyce Geronimo. This is Health and Seeing, Connecting the Dots. When someone gets diagnosed with bipolar disorder, all the attentions go to them. And that makes sense. They are struggling, they need support. People ask how they are doing. Doctors focus on them. Family members focus on them. But nobody has. How are you doing? And that's where things start to change. Because while everyone is watching the person with the diagnosis, your life, and I'm going to repeat it again, your life is changing too. You start worrying more, sleeping less, canceling plans, managing crises, keeping secrets, holding everything together, and after a while, you don't even notice how much you have been holding by yourself. So researchers in Taiwan follow people with bipolar disorder and their caregivers. And what they found was shocking. 1 out of every 4 caregivers met the criteria for depression. Think about that. That's not a small number. That's not unusual neither. That's 1 person in every group of 4. The researchers want to know why. What was causing that? And the answer were clear. Stigma doesn't just hurt them. It hurts you. When people hear the word stigma, they usually think about the person with the diagnosis. The stigma doesn't stop there. It reaches the whole family. Maybe you have been hiding what is happening from your friends. Maybe you have been avoiding certain conversations, or maybe you have been worried about being judged. Maybe people pull away after they find out, and over time, something dangerous happens. You become isolated. You stop talking. You stop sharing. Loneliness is one of the strongest predictors of depression. You cannot get support for something you feel like you have to hide. Your brain never gets a day off. Let's talk about anxiety, because many caregivers do not realize how much stress they're living with. You are always watching, looking for signs, wondering if a depressive episode is coming, wondering if a manic episode is starting, replaying a conversation, questioning your decision, thinking about the worst case scenario that could happen. It's like being on a 24-hour on call. It's like being on call 24 hours. Even when nothing is happening, your body never relaxes. And when your nervous system stays in stress for months or years, depression often follows. Not because you are weak, because you are tired. Here is something many caregivers know, but very few talk about. Most people don't understand what your life is. They mean well, but they don't get it. So every time you try to explain, it feels like work. Eventually, you start trying. And that's where isolation gets worse. The research found that caregivers with less support had a higher risk of depression, which makes sense. Nobody is supposed to hold all of this by themselves. Not for days, not for weeks, not for months, and definitely not indefinitely for years. Sometimes, the most healing thing is not an advice. It's finding someone who understands. Now, the stronger predictor of depression amongst caregivers was not stigma. It was not anxiety, It was not isolation. It was unemployment. Why? Because caregiving often changes your relationship with work. Some people cut back hours, some people leave the job, some turn down opportunities. And when that happens, you lose more than just income. You lose structure, you lose independence, you lose goals that belong to you and only you. You lose pieces of your identity. One day, you realize something very scary. Your entire life revolves around someone else's diagnosis, and there is not a space left for you. Here is the thing that almost no one talks about, but it's so important. Research shows caregivers can also have increased risk of suicide. And honestly, when you understand everything we talk about, it's not hard to see why. Imagine being stressed all the time, feeling alone, feeling judged, losing part of yourself, watching someone you love struggle, and doing it while you're pretending you're okay. That's a huge way to be caring by your own. That's heavier than one person should have done by themselves. If you have ever feel overwhelmed by that way, you deserve support too. Not someday, not after the crisis, not when they feel better. You deserve support now. Let's end with something practical. Because if you know what is causing the problem, we can start changing the outcomes. First, find one place where you don't have to hide. Just one person, one support group, one therapist, one coach, one safe space. A stigma lose power when you start carrying the secret alone. Second, stop being the only person holding the plan. Anxiety gets worse when your brain thinks it's responsible for everything. Share the information. Create crisis plan. Build backup support. Let someone else know what is going on and allow them to help you. Your nervous system was never designed to do any of this, and much less to do it alone. And final tip, protect something that belongs to you. A hobby, a friendship, a class, a job, a dream, a goal, anything. Just one thing, but protect it. Because caring is something you do. It's not who you are. You are still a whole person outside this role. And the more you protect that part of yourself, the healthier it will be for you. If there is one thing I want you to remember from today's episode, is this. Caregiver depression doesn't come out of nowhere. It grows from isolation, from stigma, from being anxious all the time, from lack of support, from losing pieces of yourself along the way. And none of that means you're failing. It means you are holding something really heavy by yourself. If nobody has checked on you lately, let this be your reminder. Your mental health matters too. You deserve support, you deserve rest, and you deserve to be seen. Health and Seen provide coaching to family members supporting a loved one with serious mental illness. I'm a coach, and I have a master in clinical and counseling psychology, and I have more than 10 years working on the behavioral health system, supporting family and individuals that has gone through the same thing that you're going through. If you want, my website is in the bio. Feel free to connect.